Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Blake here and I'm back with another YouTube video. Now it's been a little while since I did a guitar lesson and especially since I did one on the pentatonic scale. So I did a couple of videos previously on 2 of the 5 positions of the pentatonic scale, which you can check out and I'll put links in the cards above. And in those I go through the relationships of the notes in the scale and I also go through how to get these shapes in your head and what you should do to practice them. So since it's been a couple of years since that, I thought it'd be more useful for me to do one video where I talk about all 5 positions of the pentatonic scale and playing it up and down the neck in whatever key you want. I'm going to go into the origin of the pentatonic scale and why there are 5 positions. Then I'll show you them and then I'll go a little bit into the theory, and if you want to know a little bit more about exercises you can play to get these kind of positions in your mind, then do check out my previous videos on this subject. So before we pick up a guitar, we're going to quickly talk about the origin of the pentatonic scale. So penta comes from pente. Think of penta as in pentagon, the 5-sided shape, and tonic comes from tone. So what this tells us is that within the pentatonic scale there are 5 individual notes. So whatever you're playing in the pentatonic, if you're playing all the way up and down the neck, you're only playing 5 notes over and over, but just at higher and lower kind of registers, but you're just playing 5 notes over and over, whatever shape you're in. And this is derived from the major scale. So in the major scale, and I've done a video on that as well, so you can check that out in the cards. In the major scale, you have 7 individual notes. And just for kind of ease, let's name these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And actually that's how the kind of numbering system works, the Nashville numbering system. Don't worry about that too much for the moment, but essentially in the pentatonic scale we take out the 4th number and the 7th number. So we have the notes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's 5 notes altogether, 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 from the major scale. Don't worry too much about theory, we'll go a bit more into it, but let's get into the 5 positions. So this makes sense that there are 5 positions that we can play over 12 frets on the guitar before kind of the system starts again. And that's because as there are 5 notes in the pentatonic scale, and we can just call them note 1, note 2, note 3, note 4, note 5, then we can start a scale on each one of these notes. So there'll be a position on note 1, position on note 2, position on note 3, position on note 4, position on note 5. We're going to leave it like that at the moment. I'll show you these 5 positions and then I'll show you how you can apply this to whatever key you want. So just for ease and to go through it fairly quickly, we're just going to talk about it in terms of finger number for each of these positions. So if we give our fingers numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 for the pinky, then we're going to go through what we do in each position using these finger numbers. So let's look at the first position. So the position starting at note 1 of the 5 in the pentatonic scale. Okay, so starting off with the first position, the one starting on the first note of the 5, we're going to pick any note we want starting on the bass E string. It doesn't matter which one because we can move the shapes up and down. So let's start with the 5th fret, which is the note A. We're going to do 1 fret per finger, and remember we're doing fingers 1, 2, 3 and 4 for the little one. So starting with our 2nd finger on the note we've chosen, A in this case, but you can play wherever you want, just pick any note on the bass E string. Then we're going to play fingers 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. That's the shape, feel free to play it up and down. So wherever you chose your first shape, you'll notice that the 2nd note you played is 2 frets higher. So we're going to move everything up 2 frets from wherever you are. So I was on the 5th, I'm going to be on the 7th, but if you're on the 3rd, you could be on the 5th now, so on, doesn't matter. The main thing is that these positions all link together. So the end of this position is the start of this position. And this one is the shape that starts on the 2nd note of the 5. We can either play it starting on our 1st finger or starting on our 2nd finger, see which is most comfortable for you. For me, I'm going to play it starting on the 1st finger, so it goes 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Then we move down 1 fret, we go 1, 4, move up 1 fret and do 1, 4, and then 1, 3. If you want to play it with the second finger instead, you can go 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4 moved up, and then either 1, 3 or 2, 4 at the bottom. Okay, now the third position. So we played our first one here, we played our second one linked together here. Again, take the second note from that last position and you'll see it's 2 frets higher. So we want to start 2 frets higher than the second position or 4 frets higher than the first position. Here's the first, here's the second, and here's the start of the third position. And for the third position, we're playing like this. We're going 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4. Okay, the fourth position. Now at this point we're getting to the 12th fret in my case, because we started out at the 5th, we then played our second position at the 7th, we played our third position at the 9th, and the second note of the 9th was the 12th fret on the bass E string, so the E note. Now we could play the fourth position up here, which I'll do, but also if you're getting to the point where you're at the 12th fret, obviously this is an octave higher than the open strings, so you could play instead this position at the bottom, where whatever notes you're playing on the 12th fret are the ones where you're just playing open string and then you add the others on. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So we're going to play the fourth shape of the 5, the one starting on the 4th note of the 5-note sequence, and we start from the 12th fret, that's where the last one ended. So here's the 4th sequence, starting with our second finger. For me it's on the 12th fret. For you, wherever it is, it's got to just be 3 frets higher than your last sequence to link together. And we're going to play 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Okay, and finally we've got the 5th position. So my last one ended here on the 14th fret of the bass E string. But if you're playing an acoustic or a similar guitar which has got the body coming about the 14th fret or quite low down, this might get uncomfortable. Now remember that the whole 5 pattern sequence goes over 12 frets. So what that means is, rather than starting on the 14th fret of the bass E string, I can move this position all the way down to the 2nd fret of the bass E string, which is an octave lower, and it'll still link back up to where we started, which for me was on the 5th fret of the bass E string. So this is our last position. If we were to play it up here, it would still link there, so we'd start on the 14th, and the next note is on the 17th, which is obviously an octave higher, 12 notes higher, 12 frets higher I should say, than the 5th on the bass E string. So anything we're playing with a scale where you're holding down notes on the 12th fret or higher, we can move the whole thing down to make it easier, where what you'd play on the 12th fret you play as an open string, what you'd play on the 13th fret you play on the 1st fret, and so on from there. So as a result of that, here is the 5th and final position of the pentatonic scale, which will cover all of the 12 frets, and then it recycles again above that. And for me, it starts on the 2nd fret of the bass E string. For you, wherever your first position was, so let's say your first position was at 6, then just lower 3 frets and you'll be at fret 3 rather than fret 2, which I'm at. If your first position was at fret 2, let's say, then you should be able to play it higher up here. You'll be lower down. So in your case, rather than trying to start here at the 14th, you'll be starting here at the 11th. So that's how it works over the 12 frets. And in this final position, we play this. So taking our 4 fingers, we go 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. So the great thing about this scale is it's the same pattern regardless of where you play it on the neck. So just moving it up and down just changes the key that it's in. And to know what key it's in, the first pattern that we played is based on the kind of first note of the major scale, the major pentatonic. So for me, starting on the bass, E string at the 5th fret, that's an A, so playing where all the patterns link up based on that position is an A major pentatonic scale across the whole neck. You could also call it an F sharp minor pentatonic because they mean the same thing, they've got the same notes in them. So basically whatever your major pentatonic is, take your first note, if you just go down 3 notes, so 3 frets lower. So for me that's an F sharp. So that will be your relative minor for whatever major you're playing in. So rather than playing in A major, if I move that position up and rather than starting at the 5th fret on the bass E string, we started at the 8th fret. That's a C major pentatonic or an A minor pentatonic from that same logic. So it's based on the 8th fret of the bass E string and 3 notes lower is our A, so A minor. But that is the pentatonic scale, all the 5 positions, and you can move them to wherever you want to move them to. Thanks very much for watching. That was a video on how to play the pentatonic scale, all the 5 positions. As I've mentioned, if it would be useful for you, do go back and check those other lessons that I've done on this, and also the one on the major scale, and I've also done one as well on finding notes on the bass A and E strings, which is important for when you're trying to work out where these positions are. They're all in the cards above, so do feel free to check those out. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and let me know. If you have any comments, also let me know as well. And if you enjoy music related content in general on YouTube, then I'm always uploading new stuff. I not only do guitar lessons, I release my own music. I've actually got a new single out at the moment, which you can check out. It's called Mind the Gap. But as well as that, I do reaction videos, I do gag reels, I promote other musicians as well, I do covers, I do loads and loads of music related content, and I try and upload as much as I can. So to hear about that and get it as soon as it comes out, please consider clicking the subscribe and notification bell buttons. It really helps me out. Cheers, good luck with playing, and take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.
The end of the world, rising seas, what a way.